A few people were making fun of my teeth, saying, you don't have no teeth. And a lot of people didn't ask me why my teeth are like this, but I'm going to tell you why my teeth are like this and how they got like this. When I was a kid, I used to love going down to the dentist to get my teeth done, to make sure that my teeth were never messed up. And back then, because I was born in the 80s, they used to use what we call fillings. I think some of them had mercury in them. And after so long, because not to mention I'm lactose intolerant, if I drink milk, got to go to the bathroom, that means I have less calcium, which breaks down the bones in my body, which teeth. So due to the lack of calcium in my teeth, because it's connected to my bone structure, whenever I didn't drink enough milk, the bone structure would begin to deteriorate. Eventually, after it begins to deteriorate, it becomes vulnerable to sugar. Sugar melts it. So you ever take sugar and you put it in water and it melts it? Well, the teeth would be like water. The teeth would be like the sugar disintegrating in the water. So basically, the teeth would start to deteriorate from me eating sugar. So I stopped drinking. I stopped using all kinds of sugars. I started looking for alternatives to sugars, basically teal. And I also started to build up a tolerance toward calcium. So whenever I drink milk, I would push it to try to make sure I get that calcium. I even take certain pills for calcium that was missing. And one day, I started going through these really bad wisdom teeth. I never took my wisdom teeth out. And it was driving me nuts. My fucking teeth were hurting so bad that because I do science and stuff, at the time, I didn't have any pain medication at the time for it. So I jack off instead. Every time my teeth would hurt so bad, I'd say, fuck you. I'd go pay attention to my dick, which would restart me. It would reset my nervous system so the pain signal gets deteriorated after a while. And one day I sat down and said, man, fuck, there's something in my teeth. I got to figure out what it is. So I looked down in there and I seen this look like a little piece of metal sitting in there. So I said, there's got to be a way. And if I put metal up against metal, it'd spark. I said, nope, can't do that. If I put cold on it, there's something about it. Start looking up everything. And I said, you know what? I'm going to crush up some magnet in the bubblegum and I'm going to chew until it come out or shake loose, since it's already loose in there. And sure enough, I was chewing, and you shouldn't do this, and please don't do this. I'm going to show you what happened to my mouth when this happened. When I took the magnet and I mixed it, I crushed it up, the black magnet from off the refrigerator, I crushed it up, just a little bit of it, put it in there, in the center of it, and made sure I got it all wet, made it sure it was not going to get out of it. It was be stuck in there, the magnet be stuck in there. Well, the thing about magnet is that when you're chewing the magnet, you're rearranging magnetic polarity. You're making one planet crash into another planet, get stuck, and then it gets pulled away and ripped away. And it's basically like a planet, like a solar system in your mouth, a black hole with a bunch of suns in it. And I noticed something about myself. After so long, certain teeth disappeared. Basically, I pulled certain teeth out. After that, no pain anymore. Another one was the resistance to the pain was also from the sexing, basically masturbating all the time in order to get, anytime it started hurting, straight to the dick. And I realized something, that I looked in the foresight of what I had done chewing that gum, and I thought to myself, none of that magnet could have gotten into my nervous system or into my bloodstream, because I was constantly spitting out while I was chewing wherever the pain was, because wherever I felt the pain, I chewed. Doesn't matter, fuck the pain and just jack off. And I noticed something. The pain signal that was being sent from the tooth was going directly into the brain. That meant that every time I chewed where the pain was, the magnetic polarity changed, and the signal that was being sent to my brain was the magnetic polarity. Now, I realized that that's what I had done. that pain signal that was being sent from my tooth now was receiving magnetic polarity signals from the magnet that I had crushed up in the bubble gum and had been chewing. After I had done that, each tooth that was a problem was gone. Everything else, it just settled down. Look, it settled down. I can eat better, everything. I'm not saying do this and don't do it, because it starts fucking with you. I'm going to tell you how it starts fucking with you. You're going to think that people are hitting you, and they're not. It becomes it's a neurological problem. You start thinking people are hitting you, but they're not. Okay? Because the tooth hurts so bad. But I wasn't paying attention to the pain of the tooth. And I realized why I wasn't paying attention to the pain was because I was focusing on sex instead, meaning I basically separated my mind from my nervous system and said, fuck you, get rid of that pain while I'm not paying attention, and it did. Now, I still got all of my wisdom teeth. The only teeth I don't have in my mouth are these ones. Look. What's interesting is my back teeth became the most strongest. Whenever there was pain, I always grit my teeth and think about sex instead. Every time it was pain, every time it was something that was hurting me, sex instead. The other one was in the back of my mind, it was always magnet, something about magnet. And I realized what it might have done. If I was chewing magnet in a bubble gum, and the magnet took a ride through the electricity. You see the electricity? The pain signal is electricity. That's not just chemical. That's electricity going back up into the brain and saying pain from that tooth, pain from that tooth. That magnet caught a ride straight back up into my brain to the core of the brain. Okay? And it was telling the core of the brain, hey, which way is north? It's that way. North is that way. Because that's what magnets do. In order for a magnet to become a magnet, like a spoon technically can be a magnet, but only when it touches the magnet. When I did that, it was touching whatever was in there. I'm telling you, I know now what the fuck my problem was. Okay? All of that's gone. None of that happens anymore. I don't even think, my tooth doesn't even do that anymore. I used to have this twitch where I'd be eating something and it'd go like this. And I'd look in the corner of my eye to see who hit me, and nobody did. That right there is neurological. I took care of it. I reset all of that using sex and magnets, following that electrical signal. Now, like I said, don't do what I did, because that's why these teeth are missing. But I just want to tell you something. It took a long time. It's been about like a decade since I had pain. I've been brushing my teeth and eating food, and it's been getting better and better and better. And another one was that it's a mentality thing now. Now it's like I'm more about learning more about certain things because of that happening. But I know now why I think like I do. Now just imagine me making this video. A lot of y'all are gonna laugh. You're gonna be like, oh my God, you were chewing bubble gum with magnet in it. You know, and yes, it's dangerous. Don't do it. It'll kill you. Okay? I did it a certain way where I knew that the magnet would not get into my bloodstream. And I chewed where the tooth was actually giving me the most pain. And then, meaning I had to focus through the pain, chewing gum with magnet in it, and thinking about sex, and saying, fuck pain and only pleasure. And then eventually, after a while, because it couldn't have been the sugar that was causing it, it was the nerve system. I went through each tooth one by one, looking for the problem, and so far, look at this. I couldn't even do that before. Look. Now I can. And I grit like this, look. I grind my teeth too, so I'm a teeth grinder. If I see a woman I really, really want and I can't have her, I start grinding my teeth. And that's another reason my teeth are the way they are, is because I grind my fucking teeth a lot. And I know y'all know how know what I'm talking about. You see somebody you really, really want to fuck, but you can't, and it makes you grind your teeth or scrunch your hands together. That's what was happening with me. But now I realize, after I did those few things, it fixed it.